Centuries ago, the Malian Emperor Mansa Musa sent his best and brightest scholars, explorers, warriors, and artisans across the great Western Ocean to discover new lands. They succeeded in ways no one could imagine. Now, 3,000 years later, their descendants have made a home for themselves on a new planet, and the calls of adventure and discovery are stronger than ever. Join creative director Tanya DePass as Invicta, the High-and-Old Blade Keeper, DJ Knight as Ikemba, the Musalian Biopriest, Michael Sinclair II as Ilay, the Misajai Lightbringer, Christina Ariel as Sila 919, the Monsagene Biopriest, Abria Iyengar as Koseh, the Hyanol Fixer, and Eugenio Vargas as the Storyteller, as they explore new planets, make new friends, and treat everyone they meet luxuriously. Welcome to the Motherlands.
Finale of season 2 of Into the Motherlands, our 22nd episode overall, 10th of this season. It has flown by. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Eugenio. I'm DM Jazzy Hands. I will be your storyteller for this evening. I use he, him pronouns, and I am overwhelmed once again. I feel like I said that last season for the finale too, but I am overwhelmed to be here with these incredibly talented people, with all of you who are here to hang out and support us and hear our story. Thanks for being here. We have got so much to do, to talk about, to tell stories tonight. But the very first thing and most important thing is, of course, that we take a moment to introduce the wonderful faces that surround me here on this lovely eve. We're going to go around. I do want to quickly say that, of course, everyone's friend and the namesake of this summer, apparently, Abria Iyengar, who usually plays Koseh, right below me there, is busy as hail and will be doing her best to get to us, hopefully by the midway point this evening. We're crossing our fingers, but she's off doing fabulous things, and so we will be taking good care of Koseh in the meantime. So you should follow her, of course, on Twitter at @Quiddie, Q-U-I-D-D-I-E, if you're not already. She's doing all kinds of great stuff. So go check her out. But let's go around and see who else we've got playing this evening and what is going on. Oh, I'm supposed to roll dice here. Hold on. Oh, I'll use one of my diehards. All right. So first up tonight, it's a 4. Michael.
Hello, hello. My name is Michael Sinclair II. I play Ilay, the Misajai Lightbringer. Their pronouns are they, them. My pronouns are he, him. And I'm just super excited for the finale today, so let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Next up is 1-2 Christina.
Hi, my name is Christina Ariel, and I will be playing Admiral Silent 919, your Monsagene Biopriest, android with the amazing hair.
Yes.
Anyway,
good description.
Yes, pronouns, she, her, and I'm so excited. It's the finale. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for all your support all season long. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
All of that. Next up, DJ.
Oh, hi, I'm DJ Knight, space and sci-fi strummer person, but I am playing Ikemba, Musalian Biopriest. My and his pronouns are he, him. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for sticking around with us this season, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too. And last but most certainly not least, our host, our creative director, the glorious Tanya DePass.
Oh, goodness. Glorious. I don't know if I can follow that.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with the glorious.
Oh, I see you there, DJ. I see you. Hi, I'm Tanya DePass, Cypher Tier. I play your High-and-Old Blade Keeper Invicta. My pronouns are she, her. And I've got a special announcement. It's not yet on Twitter because power outages have foiled the great plan to have this up on Twitter before we announced it. But I know D3 at C is in the chat, and I will be one of the celebrity DMs for the cruise next year.
Yes, what an incredible lineup of folks, and they've added a great one. Yes. What else do we want to say?
Oh no,
about that?
D3 at C, did you put a link in the chat? Oh
no. Yep.
Sorry, I have to VIP you.
Well, we'll take care of that. Links. And D3 will have some information. In the chat, I
No.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Streaming. So
Streaming.
that's super exciting, Tanya. That's awesome.
Christina has a hand up.
Yes, Christina.
Oh, I wanted to do the introduction for Quiddy, and since she can't be here until
Oh,
later.
I think you should. I think that's a very good
no.
idea.
Oh no.
My name is Sabria Eingard, known as Quiddy Online, and I'm your favorite DM's DM. It's a hot Abria summer. She would never say that in real life.
Nope, but I
but
love
it
that you
is.
did.
And I'm really dope. Got really dope hair. My eye makeup is always on point. And I play Koseh, your high and old dope fixer. So watch Into the Motherlands and then watch all her other stuff. And I love her and I miss her and I can't wait to see her when she gets her.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all crossing our fingers that traffic is kind and things go well and she can get back to us soon. Something you wanted to add before we go on, Tanya?
Oh, just that you all should go watch her Magical Misfits, Exandria,
Yeah.
Unlimited, everything else she's doing. And if you go on her Twitter and look at Matt's tweets, she's on a billboard right now in LA, which is really, really dope.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and that
cool people.
Yeah. Oh, and BET Her just tweeted, if you missed seeing Game Changer with many of these lovely faces you see in the chat, also there, they are replaying it tonight on BET at 10 Central, 11 Eastern. I will throw it to you in the chat.
So much to do tonight, y'all. Well, that is our crew for tonight. Clearly, we are all both excited and a little nervous about the finale. So let's put it off for a little longer while I thank more people for getting us here to our 22nd episode. As usual, there are some folks that we absolutely have to thank for their incredible support. We have to thank Die Hard Dice, first of all, for supporting all of our endeavors here in the Motherlands. We are so excited to hopefully soon be able to talk a little bit more about their participation in the Kickstarter, but even so, in the meantime, they have that beautiful set of Musalian Skies dice available, as well as everything else that they make. It's all such great quality. You can go to dieharddice.com and check everything out. And when you're ready to check out, use the code Ilay if you're going today. The code Ilay, I-L-A-Y, is good for one more day until, well, not even, until the end of today for 10% off your entire order. If you don't get to Die Hard Dice by tonight, but still want to order, starting tomorrow, July 1st, you can use the code MOTHERLANDSRPG, and that will also give you 10% off your order. So if you order today, Ilay. If you order tomorrow or anytime thereafter, Motherlands RPG for 10% off your order. Next up, we want to thank Blue Microphones for supplying us with all of these excellent microphones with the equipment we need to make sure that we sound good every week for you all. I super appreciate all of their support. Been using Blue for a very long time and very grateful for that. You can check out everything they've got available on their website, bluemic.com. You can check out all of their options there. We, of course, wouldn't have gotten this far had we not had a system to play on, and so we want to thank the folks over at Cortex by Fandom. Our system for the last 2 seasons has been primed by Cortex, and we are very excited to have been able to share their modular tabletop role-playing game system with you all. You can follow them on Twitter at Fandom Tabletop, where they are always tweeting about the new projects they have. They've got some other live play shows going with their team and some of their other properties like Tales of Zadia, the official Dragon Prince RPG, and Legends of Grayskull, the Masters of the Universe RPG. So lots and lots from them that you can go and check out once again on Twitter at Fandom Tabletop. And finally, we have to thank Twitch. Our episodes premiere exclusively here on Twitch every week, and we are so grateful that they have made space for us, that they have supported us and believed in this project. We are very, very grateful to call Twitch our premier home. So thank you for that. I don't have to give you their website because, well, you're probably here already. A couple of other notes about tonight's episode. We are giving away all of the things tonight in celebration of our season 2 finale. We have all kinds of stuff that you all can win this evening. Do keep an eye on the chat. The mods are gonna, our fantastic mods are going to give you all the information that you need for the various giveaways this evening. Do be aware that you've got to be here when we draw those winners so that you can hit up a mod and give them your information so we can get the prize to you. If you aren't here, we will have to draw a different winner, so stick around. We are giving away tonight a code for a digital handbook to the Cortex Prime system, so you can get your hands on the rules that we use for our game here. We are giving away a set of Musalian Skies dice from Die Hard Dice. So hey, you know, if you haven't gotten yours yet, we're going to be giving away a set of that, and we are going to be giving away 5 Logitech Lightspeed mice this evening. We are so grateful to Logitech for giving us a little bit of something to celebrate our season 2 finale with. So lots and lots of things. As I said, keep an eye on the chat. Mods will instruct you in how to enter, and if you're chosen, claim your prize. I'm sure I've forgotten something because there was so much today. Have I? Tanya, did I miss anything?
Mice, dice, Cortex,
Yeah.
D3 announcement.
D3. Mm-hmm. I think
Quiddy is stuck in traffic.
Bless her.
Oh,
yeah, thank you. Yes, Mod. Wait, one of our mods just reminded me that also stick around after the episode tonight. We are going to do a brief little Q&A with the cast after we are done with the session. So we will extend a little beyond 9 p.m. tonight. We would love 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain. Anyway, so do hang out after we're done with our main session tonight. We're gonna hang out, answer some questions, chat a little bit about the Motherlands experience.
And
so
we may
yeah,
even
thank you
have
for
a
that,
wild
Lady
bee
Luck.
Dave.
We may. We are hopeful. We are crossing our fingers.
Yes. We
so
may
thank
have a
you for
wild
that
bee Dave.
reminder, Lady Luck. Did you have something, DJ?
Yes.
Yes, tell me.
It's probably selfish, but I know that the fam are fans of the Gush Puppies.
Oh.
The Gush Puppy tea is live on my shop. If you want to have an Ikemba Gush Puppies tea, I apologize. I should have asked Cypher. I'm sorry for just posting the link. Please don't hate me. If you wanted to wear your own Gush Puppies tea, it's
there. It is.
There it is.
So many good announcements. No, don't apologize. So many
for
great
season 3.
announcements
I feel like for the finale or for season 2 finale, I had to like at least show up and be prepared for something. So
absolutely. I love it. I love it. We're going all out for this finale. All right, y'all. Well, I think that I have stalled in my nervousness as long as excitedness, I should say, as long as possible. I am ready for this. Who wants to kick off our recap from last week?
Yo, do y'all want me to do it so we can speed through this and get to the action?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Perfect.
please.
Awesome. So, let's see. Invicta gets off Silent 919's back because that happened last time because Silent 919 was carrying Invicta.
Oh, you meant literally.
Yes. Yes. No. Invicta can carry their own selves, but what happened last game happened,
And a baby Bjorn made of braids.
And then Ikemba's disc that he had on his neck got sorted out by some what do you call this, improv medical assessment. So that, you know, it was a medical thing. We did the whole soap note thing, you know, the whole thing. We got it. Anyway, we had to figure out what we were going to do from there. So we had a lot of debates and trying to decide what we were going to do. I believe we ended up with who brought it up? Someone brought it up in the group, and they were brilliant for it, that the seaweed can help us breathe underwater. So that was. I think
it was Koseh.
It was Koseh. Yeah, I thought it was Koseh. So that was decided. Koseh also spent all night to fix Tiwi and removed Invicta's boot at some point. Let's see. We also, while that was all happening and I was doing an assessment on Ikemba, or Ilay, they were doing an assessment on Ikemba, Ikemba was given cheese, his favorite thing. And he was very like, he was moving around a lot because I had to give him some sort of, I forget what the thing is called. But anyway, epinephrine, that's what I thought. I thought that, I had to make sure. Let's see. Invicta also had a point where she remembered not so like memories that weren't so great from her childhood because Koseh kept calling her a disgrace. So that happened. And then at some point we went through with Koseh's plan to go to Corf, which is where the scientists analyze the seaweed, or the ocean life around here, so that we can get going with the plan, so that we can maybe find the other mechanoid alien being. And that's, I think, where we left off, and I think I might have hit everything. Oh, we have to watch out for Dewakma because they're killer whales. Also that, or they are kind of like killer whales.
Right. Yeah. That, I think that hit all the high points. So we return to Corf, the Kusilia Oceanographic Research Facility, which is just outside the vacation town, beach town of Mandira, where you all have spent the last few days. We think back for a moment to mere days ago when you all were on a little bit of leave, having some vacation after chasing after some horrible unidentified squid creatures from the moon of Hapalok. You were called back in because there was some sort of a strange anomalous crash just outside the city of Mandira on the beach. You investigated, you discovered that machines of some sort had escaped. You tracked one down to a mountain where it sampled several of you before it was destroyed by all of your efforts, and then also some sort of volcano creature. And then, as we said, you've returned now to sort of where this all started, the place that you went as soon as you arrived here at Mandira, to the Kusilia Oceanographic Research Facility. You spoke with the Salje and Yaktur, Salansi and the Hyanol researchers. You have decided to use Salje's sort of pride and joy research project, this filtering algae that will allow you to not breathe underwater, but literally to breathe water for a time, and have decided that you're going to make use of that and head down into the depths to try and find, as you said, the second of the two things that were released from this mysterious ship. And so as we left you last week, you all were being fitted with the masks that would be firmly packed with the water-breathing algae. And at the last moment, Koseh, the lack of sleep from actually the past couple of nights. Koseh has not had a proper night's sleep in 2 consecutive nights now that we know of. And it finally catches up with her, and as she's being fitted for the mask, it just starts to sort of catch up with her. Her breathing becomes a little irregular, whether it's nerves or excitement or just straight up lack of sleep. And Salje sort of sits her down and breaks the news to her that that at least for the moment, it would be best if perhaps they monitored Koseh, made sure that she was all right before she goes under the water with you all, because as Salje explained to you all last week, it is a stressful process to wear these masks and to go underwater and to literally breathe water. The sensation is very much anathema to air breathers, because you have to literally take in the water as air. As Koseh is being tended to, and Yaktur, the Hyanol, continues to fit the rest of you with masks and pack the algae. We head back over to the Wistful Wish. We sort of go back in time just a little bit, just before Bertrand takes off in the Wistful Wish. It was decided that Bertrand would return to Torch headquarters to take what remains of the self-destructed mystery craft to Torch for analysis. And so we've gone back just before he takes off. You all have started making your way to Kusili. And Silent 919, you have been in a rebooting process after all of the corruption stress, after all of the sort of, we've been calling it malware, that you took on both from the original craft as it exploded, and then from the altercation with the first sort of probe machine. And your reboot is finally complete. And you find yourself on the Wistful Wish, alone for the moment.
Ella feels a bit disconcerted by the whole reboot process. It is actually very taxing.
Mm-hmm.
But she has finally sorted out her insurance issues that she was having earlier in the trip.
Could have taken
She is-
ages. I'm glad that happened for you.
She has gotten her claim approved, and she is now calling in to try and talk through some of her adjustments that she's having with her new feelings component.
And so you put a little call in, and at this point, Bertrand is still sort of making preparations to take off. So the ship hasn't powered on or anything like that. So you're sitting in relative quiet in your cabin, in your quarters, and you put the call in and go through a sort of science fiction operator exchange to connect. You put in your information. The newly sorted insurance, and you are connected with someone that introduces themselves to you and begins by asking you a few questions. So, Silent 919, in your own words, if you could, what made you call today?
I previously received an upgrade, and it was to my emotions. And I'm having some trouble understanding what the point of them is, because they don't make me feel anything but confused. And if that was the case, I should have never installed them. I guess I'm feeling a bit regretful.
Interesting. That's good. You're using emotion words to describe your current state quite fluidly. I have to encourage you to understand that is a good thing, even if not all the emotions are positive. Tell me, do you remember why you were given the upgrade in the first place?
I had received the upgrade because I wanted the ability to connect with my crew.
And to that end, understanding that it has been a difficult adjustment, do you feel that you've been able to do that, at least to some extent, since the upgrade?
I find myself taking their words more to heart and trying to match words to actions, and I don't know how I don't want to put everything out that I think now, and sometimes it feels like that's what feelings are.
It is an adjustment. And you're right. In the end, once you are acclimated, and once you and I have had a chance to talk some more, you'll find a balance about when you can put those feelings out there, when and who with, and how. But I want to start off with this first conversation by saying that though there are some Mansagene out there who receive their emotions upgrade and their processors are able to acclimate to the new systems seemingly immediately, without problem. That isn't the norm. It really isn't. And I want to congratulate you for reaching out, because that is probably one of the biggest and hardest steps of this whole process. And I hope that, though we have only just started speaking, you believe that. Do you feel that you believe what I'm saying to you so far, Silent 919?
Can you fix everything?
I think that you will appreciate honesty from me. And so I'll tell you the honest truth. No, I cannot fix everything. But we, and mostly you, with a little bit of guidance from me and perhaps my colleagues, should that become necessary, will be able to fix a great many things. And more importantly, by the time we're done, and that may be quite some time, and that's okay, by the time we're done, you will have the tools to fix things yourself. And I'll be here to assist when it's needed. But that's my goal, is to work with you so that you can fix things. I won't be fixing much of anything.
I can't say that I trust you, but I can say that I do believe you.
That is fair. And trust, as you may have begun to learn, is a complex emotion that requires time and requires it to be earned. I very much look forward to continuing these conversations, Silent 919. They will be beneficial. And I want you to know that you should always tell me when you feel that they aren't. Because I will either be able to tell you that it's part of it, that the difficulty is part of it, and that your companions, your crew, know that intrinsically. They've spent their whole lives with these emotions, and they know that sometimes difficult things are necessary. It is harder for a Mansagene to grasp when we have spent our existence working solely on the logical of our programming. So I want you to tell me when you're feeling like we aren't making progress, so that we can adjust. Now, unfortunately, that is likely all the time that we have for today, solely because I need to collect some of your personal information. I was contacted by the referring physician and you can hear sort of the beeps of a data pad, Mandira, it appears, and we've received employment information from Torch. So likely all of this will go through very quickly and we'll be able to speak again soon. Tell me, Silent 919, how are you feeling now?
I don't feel better, but I don't feel worse. And I feel like maybe I could learn something.
I am really looking forward to getting to know you, Silent 919, because not everyone that I speak to for the first time has the ability to have that awareness, to understand that it will be a process and time will be important.
I am quite brilliant.
It shows. I'll be in touch, Silent 919, and again, thank you. And truly, congratulations for reaching back out.
Thank you. Sila's gonna disconnect the call and go, that's my time. It was like 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. It never feels like enough, does it? Does it?
I was just having a breakthrough.
Cool. So at this point, your communication must have tipped off Bertrand that you were in fact still on board. And Bertrand you can hear Bertrand's, heavy footsteps and a knock at your quarters door, at your cabin door.
Yes. How can I help you?
Oh,
Admiral.
Admiral Silent 919, I apologize. I thought you had gone with the rest of the crew. Were you going to return with me, or did you want to join them at Kusili?
Well, I should go where they are.
Yeah. I will happily drop you off. They are expecting you too, I believe. I just, I heard once that an elephant never forgets, and that's clearly not true. A Hatharayan never forgets. I don't know what words are today, apparently.
You forgot the words, so you have thus proving your statement.
Yes, indeed. Why don't I take you over to Kusili before I return?
That'll be acceptable.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Admiral. Yes, Admiral. Yes, thank you,
Admiral Silent 919.
Thank you, Admiral Silent 919. And so Bertrand will go and will give you a little lift over to Kusili, which should put you there at about the time that the last of the crew of the rest of the crew is being fitted with masks. Koseh is disappointed but acquiescing to Asaljay's suggestion that she stay behind at least for a while, and you can rejoin your companions as they are getting ready to dive down under the ocean. And of course, you as a Mansagene, you are welcome to take one of Asaljay's masks, but as a Mansagene, it is not necessary.
I'll pass.
Yeah, that's fair. So the rest of you, Silent 919 comes strolling into the room. We didn't talk about the little scene with Sila back on the ship before we started, so I will give all of you the benefit of the doubt that you did indeed know that she was coming and that Bertrand would drop her off. You certainly didn't forget the great Admiral. So Sila walks in, and you are all met together again, at least for a few moments until you get under the water.
I see that you're back. Everything okay?
Yes, you could have waited, but okay.
Well, I guess our apologies. We were just trying to make sure that the other thing that we're looking for doesn't maybe get too ahead of us.
All right, then I'm here. Let's go.
All right.
I'll take the lead of the thing I know absolutely nothing about.
That's all right. Silent 919 goes over to the hatch, opens it up, and just dives down into the water. Yaktor sort of laughs, and Asaljay lets out a little sort of whoop. Okay. Well, you're all ready, and so you all can take to the water as well. Now, it's not, as we discussed last week, you all have these masks fitted. You know in your brains that you can breathe the water, but your body thinks otherwise. So tell me what that is like. I think there's gonna be some rolls while we're exploring underwater because it is a lot, but I don't think we need one just for you first jumping in. First jumping into the water, but tell me what this experience is like for each of you.
Invicta hates it. She's because she's feline.
Right, so just water in general.
I mean, she bathes, but
Sure.
But there's a difference between taking a nice hot bath and jumping into this water and feeling the water go in her mouth. She is internally freaking out.
Yeah.
Also, this will be my IRL response because I have a terrible fear of drowning.
Oh no.
So I know we're not really doing this, but my brain is going. And then once she can actually breathe, she's like, oh, okay. I'm not dead. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess this is okay. But her brain is still going between thanks, I hate it, this feels weird, and okay, I can breathe. Sort of. I don't know how this works, but I guess it's okay.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's sort of what Asaljay said. She said that the first breath was going to be the hardest, and then it would sort of even out after that. And it does, and it's pretty quick. It's just, it really is that first one. Ikemba or Ilay?
Yeah, so Ilay is gonna slowly approach the water and say to themselves, all right, just to trust the equipment. It's just like the other times where you're in the water. And so slowly gets in, and you see Ilay just try and get this over with, and basically suck in like the water through their mouth and nose. Like you get that sharp pain feeling in the back of your sinuses.
Yeah.
And they're just remembering like doing the helicopter trainer rollover in the water when like, because they're part of a search and rescue thing. So they're just like, this sucks. Let's just get through the worst part.
Awful.
So that's what they're doing. They kind of like convulse in the water, but then everything's fine, and then they're gonna keep moving.
Yeah. You did a very smart thing, but I don't want to say it yet because I want to find out what Ikemba does first, and then I'll comment on it.
Ikemba is just done with the concept of breathing water, but he's also intrigued by the idea of breathing water. So rather than be tentative, he just kind of just like jumps in the water head first and just tries to just like, look, get it done. The faster it's done, the faster we're ready to move. So he just dives head first into the water, like, let's get it done.
You were all very clever about this because one of the things that Asalje sort of realizes, we cut back to Asalje in her lab, and she goes, "Oh, I really should have told them not to be careful, not to swallow, but to breathe. Oh well, hopefully they'll." And she sort of watches and just waits to see if any of you try to like swallow the ocean water first, because that will definitely require a change of mask. But you were all very clever. You did it all in one. And it's
just
gathering
data. Like, what's up? What is she doing?
I mean, she doesn't not have her data pad with her.
Okay.
Excellent. So there you all are. You're under the water. You are breathing. You are adjusting to this new reality for you, and you can see, from here, you can sort of see the lights of the Kusili Center above you, sort of lighting up this beautiful, crystal clear. I mean, there, it's very, it is crystal clear water that you can see through. The lights are penetrating through to a good depth at this point. In fact, it's fairly, well, it's not shallow, but it's shallower here, so you can see the sandy bottom. It's really, I mean, you all can feel about it however you want, but if I were there, I would think it was quite lovely. And Asalje and Yaktur have provided you all with some pretty powerful light sources for when you get a little deeper, a little further from the surface, if that becomes necessary. And probably some other things that we will discover you need along the way, and that's fine. And so the goal is to find the other machine thing. What's the plan for doing so?
I guess.
You got a plan?
I was about to say, I guess we should go towards like at least the shore, because I imagine like we're entering some sort of under the cove kind of underground like tunnel water thing to get to where we're going, and then we find like the beachhead of where that creature just went. So maybe try and follow those, like if there's any tracks or if they left any hunks of metal on their way out or something to the sort. If they like, bore through a whole bunch of kelp, like that's
right. Okay, so you want to go back and start tracking from the beach?
Yeah.
Or from nearby the beach anyway.
Right, we're not getting on the beach, but like near that place and then going, because that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things that Asalje, actually that Yaktur provided you all with, is just a little navigation device that they programmed to give you the trajectory, because if you'll remember, these two actually saw the crash and then saw the things eject, and so Yaktur was able to sort of give you whatever trajectory they were able to see in that very brief moment, to at least give you sort of a direction that it was headed. So armed with that, you all can make your way back towards the beach where the crash site was, and you've also been provided with flippers and whatever swimming aids, whatever you may need. Of course, Silent 919. What? I didn't ask you because you don't have to breathe, but I want to know what Silent 919 underwater looks like real quick.
It's Admiral Silent 919. So actually, Sila, as she did a dive backwards into the water, she lands, but it's not like you would think it might be delicate, but then you remember she's machinery. And she slams into the water on her back and just kind of like paddles down
Yes, totally horizontal and just like paddles herself under. I love it. I love it.
However, I
Uh,
would like to clarify
uh,
that as she goes underwater, she does enter a water mode, and her hair is covered with a swim cap.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. And does the swim cap have a little like I don't know, like a little port that a braid could come out and be a little propeller for you to help you move along?
Oh no,
You could
she
say
does
no.
that with
I
her
just.
toes.
Oh, she does it with her toes. Oh yes.
She actually uses those to paddle. But the best thing about it is because of the nature, like when her fro comes out from her braids, her hair just goes and it closes over and
Yes.
just becomes self-contained.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay, cool. I had to know. So the four of you make your way back towards the beach. It takes a little while going underwater. You're keeping your eyes out for any other signs of something unusual that you might see. Yaktur assured you all that the Joachma don't generally come in this close to shore, so you're okay for all of that. And we get to the beach, and you know what? Why don't we? I think again, because we're underwater, I think let's do some rolls. Everything is a little bit more difficult because you're having to swim underwater, because though you're getting more used to the breathing underwater, that still takes a toll. You're going to get cold under there, XYZ. So yeah, why don't we hop over and maybe we're going to get ready to do some rolls, shall we? All right. So we're looking for these things. We're looking for signs of passage by this machine. Barring any evidence, you all at least have a direction to go in, but certainly finding some evidence of its passing would be very helpful. Who would like to start to take point on this, at least here at our little outset? Ilay's like, absolutely not me.
Oh, do it.
Ikemba, you want to give it a go?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So put together a dice pool that is about searching, tracking, whatever observation, notice, maybe, if that's a thing you've got. And I will roll up a difficulty because this is a test, not a contest.
Yay.
Do you have any remaining stress, Ikemba?
No.
All right, so I don't get to add any dice.
Yay.
Oh darn! What will you do?
Oh darn! What will I? Holy bananas! Okay, what will I do? All right, so far we got life is logical. Yep, I feel that. Notice, excellent, love it. Anything else you want to toss in?
Because I feel like this is an exploration task. I want to go knowledge. I feel like Ikemba has a pretty good knowledge of what's going on, and he can get a pretty good knowledge of what's going on because he's a bio priest. But we are not looking for information of already known things. We're looking for things that are down here. So it's exploration for sure.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, definitely.
And
okay.
Let's see how horrible this plays out.
I'm excited about it. Wait, I'm on the wrong screen though, so I can't see. Okay, well, could have gone worse.
I would like to use a plot point to whatever, like to not have one of those. That whole hitch, I don't like it.
Can I help?
So usually you can add you can use a plot point to add a die to your total, but unfortunately that doesn't apply to hitches. But hey, I'll give you a different plot point. Now, did I hear, Invicta, that you wanted to assist Ikemba here?
Yes, if possible.
All right. So what I'm going to say is, why don't you put together a dice pool of your own? And go ahead and roll it up, and then depending on how it goes and the effect die, we will see what we can do for Ikemba's number right now. Ikemba, though, I will buy that hitch off of you. However this ends, water is not a Musalian's natural habitat. And so we're going to give you a D6 of exhausted stress, just swimming all the way out here. And it's not about fitness. It's just about, this is a very specific physical activity that requires quite a bit. So, all right, Invicta, what you got going?
I have 17, but I did get a hitch.
Yeah, you do. Okay, great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna buy that hitch from you. I'm gonna give you a plot point and also give you a D6 of a D6 of exhausted. I can't believe it's taken 22 episodes for that to happen. So we'll give you a d6 of exhausted as well, but that 17 is well above mine. In fact, it is a heroic success because it's 5 above mine. So the two of you together, I will say, are able to find some. It's not, there are no tracks because there are underwater currents and it's sand and that's been washed away. But Ilay, suggested earlier that maybe you look to the plant life down here and see if there are any unusual sort of breakages or things like that. And you do in fact find a sort of tangle of seaweed that looks like it was ripped out and then sort of discarded. And you see several like piles of this through this sort of little seaweed forest, as if something sort of motored through it and kept grabbing chunks of seaweed and just dropping them as it went. So it's a little trail of seaweed breadcrumbs, as it were.
Well,
and they're there.
I was like, Ikemba.
I was just like, Invicta, like it was just like the eyes have it. Ikemba.
This is both underwater. They're
so
just
Invicta, Ikemba's looking for it, not really seeing anything. Invicta comes over and tries to help out, sees one of the piles of seaweed, taps you on the shoulder, Ikemba, and points to it, and you see it, and then just look back at Invicta, and the two of you are just nodding at each other.
I will go to the seaweed then.
We're both heading to the seaweed as a unit.
I love it. All right, so Ilay and Silent Eye Would Nine, you see that these two, and you all now that they're over there.
I will also do the first underwater sigh with like a real big air bubble. Well, it's not an air bubble, but you get it. Like,
yeah, I get it.
No.
Shade would come from Ilay. What she did there.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, I gather
brand.
the seaweed and
Okay.
look,
and
I'm just concerned with being underwater. I don't belong here.
Absolutely. Invicta, since you're going to gather up the seaweed, you can see that it looks like you can see where part of it was just ripped roots up. And then you also see bits of it that look like they were sliced by something fairly sharp because they're really clean sort of cuts through the stalks, through some of the seaweed stalks. And it almost maybe looks like it got caught in a particularly sharp propeller of some sort, is sort of the feeling that you're getting from these seaweed piles that you find.
It's almost like a thresher or like a farmer would have on dry land.
Kind of, but the piles are a little bit smaller than that and they're more irregular, but the actual markings on it, yeah, pretty similar.
Okay. I try to I'm a little freaked out by talking underwater. But I convey that to everyone. Then I even like hold up the really cleanly cut ones and go and hold up my dagger and I'm like, I charades. I don't know.
I love it. You could probably talk to each other. I think it sounds deeply strange. But basic communication is exactly. Basic communication is probably sort of possible,
God, do we sound like a Charlie Brown teacher?
I don't have my trombone with me to give you a proper. Great. So you all see this trail of them. You can follow the trail of these piles of seaweed to at least to the end of this sort of seaweed forest, as it were, or patch, whatever it is, field of seaweed. And once you are out past the seaweed, you can see like one more pile beyond it. And then that trail runs dry, as it were. Perhaps not the best turn of phrase for an underwater exploration, but what are you going to do? And so what are we looking for next? We don't need to roll yet, though we likely will soon. And I would love for it to be from someone else. But what's the next thing that you all are looking for? Because, I think at this point, it maybe hits you all now that you have sort of lost the first trail of breadcrumbs that this was a couple of days ago, and you all have, for all intents and purposes, a whole damn ocean that this thing could have gone to ground in. So what are we looking for? What are the signs? What are the things that you're sort of trying to eye?
Well, I do believe.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Well, that's what I said earlier, that I should be ahead of the mission, but you all decided to go ahead and take the lead because I was going to suggest that perhaps I just scan the area for life forms, but what do I know?
Sure. I think that is. I don't think we need a roll for that. I think we can just know that Scylla is scanning for life forms. And what you immediately get are a couple of things. The first thing is that you can tell that a few kilometers off, sort of in the same direction that you all have been heading, you get a couple of massive readings, and you know, Saljay and Yaktor could have given you a bit of a heads up that there is likely a pod of Doakma 2.5 kilometers ahead, continuing on in the same direction. They don't seem to have noticed you all. They're not menacing or threatening in any way, but they are there. You also get little. They are not quite life signs. They are biological signs, but they're tiny and irregular and just sort of scattered. About, I don't know, maybe 200 meters ahead of the edge of this seaweed plain.
I believe that we are coming upon some more Duakma. Would you all like to charge in recklessly, or would you like to assist your admiral with the plan?
Preferably, probably the second part. The first one sounds a little bit foolish.
What's foolish about it?
No, oh nope. It's a fantastic idea, Admiral.
We would have surprise on our side, brute strength if you include me, and we could get in and get out.
Some of us don't have strength. It's really hard to form strength underwater because we don't have anything to push off of, really.
Oh, it must be really hard being you sometimes. I understand.
Scylla.
Oh, we got there though.
I was acknowledging his feelings in the matter or their feelings at being slightly
Scylla.
less adequate at not having my experiences.
That works for
We
me.
worked on this.
We got there.
Hmm.
There's some improvement.
Yeah. It's a process.
You are doing a great job.
So are you. Should we continue on your second plan?
My second plan is a very good plan and a very, very solid plan. Ikemba, would you like to start?
I'm not exactly sure.
The plan.
Yes, Ikemba, the plan.
There's a plan.
Y'all
Are we
gonna
sure?
drown.
It felt like there was just shade being thrown around. So I wasn't sure if there was actually a plan or just shade being sprinkled upon one another.
There's no shade right now. That's all sunlight coming through the water surface.
You know what I mean, Ilay.
There are only bubbles.
You're both
Well.
toying with me, aren't you? You're toying with my emotions. What's the plan? What is the plan?
I believe that we should enter from multiple sides.
That seems prudent.
2 and 2.
It seems quite smart. Let's do this.
I know.
All right. So it sounds like 2 and 2, and we're just pushing ahead to these other strange signatures that you were getting, Scylla 919. So who are our two groups?
I will go with Scylla.
With Scylla.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ikemba and Invicta. The eyes. Oh, well, you're all eyes.
The eyes have it.
The eyes have it.
I have no hope. All right. So Invicta and Ikemba, Ilay and Scylla 919, you push forward, and Scylla 919, about, you've got your two groups, and when you get about 200 meters forward, you are able to sort of lock in a little bit more on these readings, and they are definitely, these smaller readings are definitely biological in nature, and they seem to be sort of buried, not very far, but a little bit underneath the sand in this area.
I would like to tap on the sand.
Yeah, so you hold, please. I need to die.
Please hold.
Okay, so yeah, you tap on the sand and you sort of tap and you begin to get through, the sand, and then your finger stops, and there is something, there's something cold and solid, maybe just rock, but you're getting this like, again, pseudo-biological signature from it. Whatever it is under the sand there that you've found.
I'm going to turn to Ilay and say, I think this was a very good plan.
Great plan. It seems like. Did you find something?
I'm seeing the signatures here, which implies that they might live underground, so I'm knocking before entering.
But where the others are they?
They should
Thank
be on
you,
the other
Ilay.
side.
What a great segue. So we pan over to Invicta and Ikemba, and you two don't have the benefit of Sila's life form scanner, but you two know that she noticed things here. I don't think you would know yet that they were under the sand, but you know that you're in the area where Sila was detecting whatever this weird pseudobiology is that she's detecting. What are you all doing about it, if anything?
Looking-
Go ahead.
Ladies first. Go for it.
I know I was gonna look at Ikemba. It's like, you're a biopriest. Could you sense a life form?
I've never tried that. It's not a bad idea.
I like that. What do I want you to do?
I was waiting for it. I was like, here it comes.
Here's what I'll do for you. I do want you to roll for this because it's something that you haven't tried before. But for what it's worth, I will be nice. Just don't roll more than one hitch. Because I think this is, I'm just curious how well this goes. You will be able to do it. I'm curious how well it goes. So if you'd put together a pool for this, I'm curious to see that. And if you roll a single hitch, I will ignore it and pretend it isn't there. If you roll more than one, I can't help you. But
so I put together my pool.
Great.
Starting with life is logical because reasons. Actually, it should probably be biopriest because that's a more fitting thing.
Sure.
Notice, because I imagine he kind of wants to notice what's out there, and then exploration because we're looking for something that we haven't found yet.
I love it. Roll it up. Just got to beat a 6. Okay, there's your 9. There's your one hitch that I will ignore. You open your senses up to the code of life, and it takes you a moment because what you very quickly realize, which, Ikemba might have known intellectually, but the experience of it is very different. The ocean is full of life everywhere, right? There are microscopic organisms everywhere. There are tiny, krill and plankton-like organisms everywhere. So when you open up your awareness to the logic and the code of life around you, it's a lot. It is overwhelming. It is sort of everything. But you're eventually able to, where you should be looking. You got a description from Sila 919. And so you're able to focus in, and you're able to also see, in a similar way that Sila does, these irregular shapes all over the ocean floor here, a little bit underneath the sand. And with this, you can actually see, risk and reward. You can see a little bit more that the life signatures or the pseudo-biological signatures that you're sensing, they seem to be covering or attached to these strange irregular shapes, not that they are the shapes themselves, which sounds probably very confusing, but in a few moments it will make more sense.
Do I notice Ikemba looking kind of overwhelmed at first and focusing on?
I mean, again, I don't want to speak for any of our player characters, but I mean, I think Ikemba, do you want to speak to that? Or
I mean, I feel like we've been on enough missions that it's fine with the camera if she's like close enough to see it, because that it would make perfect sense that being focused, like he's like in it right now. So he's just like he's looking at an area, he's kind of like feeling where it is, but not sure he wants to talk yet. So he's just kind of right now just focused.
Cool.
I'm not gonna bother Ikemba. But I do notice something has kind of got him focused after my question.
And he like points in the direction that he's looking because he feels her like looking at him. He points at it just like he's still trying to like gauge everything. Like there's a lot of life that he has never felt before. Like like sensing ocean life. Like okay, like yikes. So like he's in the midst of an ability he had but didn't know. So he's just like way overwhelmed but still like in it. So he's just very, very focused mode right now.
Cool. So then Invicta, you can see where Ikemba is pointing towards the closest piece of whatever this is underneath the sand.
I'm gonna can I do this underwater? I wanted to pull my blade and kind of poke at where he's
absolutely
focused. Because my brain just went, this would be harder underwater.
Yeah, sure. There's definitely like a little resistance as the water like fills the scabbard or whatever it's being held in, and you sort of have to. But yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Oh,
so
this
now,
this poor leather.
So our timelines have synced up now, and Silent 919 and Invicta are both sort of poking at whatever is under the sand, and the disturbance sort of clears away some sand, and both of you find irregular shaped bits of metal, of that same metal that was part of the ship on the beach, part of the thing on the volcano. But these pieces, there are a couple of things about these pieces. One is that they look like they were blasted, torn apart. Something ripped with this metal construct to pieces and scattered the pieces all over the ocean floor here. The other thing that you notice is what Ikemba and Silent 919 were getting life readings from. Coding parts of all of these pieces of metal is the only reason I say it is familiar is because I can't imagine that any of you would have forgotten the experience on board the Wistful Wish fleeing the Hapalock moon. There is a goo, a sort of slime that you all saw once before when you brought the Hapalock on board the Wistful Wish. And that is where we are going to take our break for this episode. Thank you all so much for hanging out. We are going to take a short 5-minute break. We've got so much more to do and so little time to do it in. So go grab a bio, grab a water, whatever you need. We will be back in as close to 5 minutes as we can manage. They have discovered the remains of this probe, and apparently the Hapalocks are afoot. We'll see you all very shortly.
Oh no.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you took care of yourselves during the break and are ready for us to wrap up this season. So our crew is underneath the water. They have found at least some parts of the remains of probably another one of these mysterious machines. And it seems, at least the current evidence seems to point to the fact that it was destroyed by a hapalock, by one of the squid creatures that they encountered on Hathaway last season. So you all, both of the two groups of two, so Ilay and Silent 919 and Ikemba and Invicta, both of you have the same or about the same information. What are you doing with it? I think you're muted, Silent 919.
And Invicta.
But everybody's muted. Everybody unmute. Sorry, what were you saying, Christina? Go ahead.
I was saying that I'm going to try to flag down Invicta and just kind of make a chop at the neck kind of signal to like maybe we should stop digging, but also turn to Ilay and say, I remember this goo and I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I just.
Sila, of course, is able to speak to all of you underwater with no problem because she just, from a speaker. So she's the one of you all that can talk with no problem. Sorry, Ilay, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just gonna slowly back up. I'm gonna back up like 8 feet.
Sure.
No. Nope.
And so Sila's going to amplify her voice from under the water with her typical tilt back screaming sound that comes out, which is probably not the wisest thing at this point.
Is what it is.
Needs to be heard. I think that we should be on high alert and very careful.
Are you telling us or the whole ocean?
Well, some of us can speak loudly and some of us can't. But we need to make sure that the message is relayed. Was it relayed?
It loud and clear.
Quite literally. Everybody, as Sila makes this proclamation, you all hear it. Sila, I assume you've got your life form sensors going the whole time. Looks like the Duakma are okay. They didn't react. It's okay. But you do see little life signs that are buried all over this area where you got the readings from the metal. You see little more active life signs begin to make their way towards the surface. They were fairly deep down, but they are burrowing upwards, as it were. You can sense them, and Ikemba, you can as well with your sense, though it's a little less clear for you exactly where they all are.
And we see all of this, right?
Well, at the moment, just Ikemba and Silent 919 are aware of whatever is coming up from beneath the sand, but you all certainly heard Sila's yell. And you're getting about 4 or 5 different readings that are coming up.
I kind of push this to just like kind of sign it in as best as possible.
Yeah.
Those aren't actual signs. I don't understand what you're trying to say. You're exasperated? Oh, okay.
I actually look at everyone and I'm like, we should go up.
Just gonna start doing some
Flying.
large brushstrokes. You want me to do the full motion? It's gonna get cut off.
Yes, I do.
I know how to actually swim, but it doesn't look right on camera.
No, but I sure did want to see that whole process. Yeah. All right. So you all can start to make your way up towards the surface so that someone other than Sila 919 can say more than 2 words at a go. As you all ascend, I mean, again, I hate to assume, but I can only assume that at least one of you is likely keeping an eye on the ocean floor below you that you leave behind. And, you all were warned, you're not that deep. This is still a relatively shallow part. You're not in the Marianas Trench, the Musalian Marianas Trench or whatever, but you're going up slowly enough to be careful of pressure sickness and those sorts of things, depressurization sickness. And so you see anyone who is looking down can see these 5 things pop up from underneath the sand. And you only get a brief glimpse at them, but you are absolutely sure that they are Hapalok in nature. They look like the little things that attacked you all on the ship that came out of the main Hapalok's body, but they don't come after you. They don't chase you up. You watch them break free from the sand and then immediately shoot off in the direction, in the direction of the Doakma, sort of further out to sea as you all ascend back to the surface.
So
arrive on the surface so you can talk now. Sorry, I should have said
that's
that.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was
sorry,
just like,
you were up on the
we're
surface
just going
now.
up then.
Yeah, sorry. So you see that happen. Unless someone wants to do something else, you all arrive at the surface and can actually have a proper conversation.
do we just spit out the seaweed? What do we do with it?
So the seaweed is in a mask that is like pretty tightly held to your face. So you can, like we are all so practiced at after the last 16 months, you can, hang it off of one side. You could hold it under your chin. You could take it off altogether.
I just a question for technicality's sake.
Yeah.
If we're breathing water, if we try to talk, we then have to expel the water. Yeah. So would it not be a good idea to keep the mask on until the water's out, or do we have to take the mask off to expel the water?
It's not going to be super pleasant either way, but your guess is that it probably will be better to try and expel the water while you still have the mask on. Actually, it's pretty porous to the water, as you've noticed. So yeah, that would probably be the better choice.
I'll start us off. I will I will rip off the thing, and then you're just gonna see me coughing, and then also projectile nostril stuff, because that's how this works.
Yeah.
Good times. I'm gonna get some seawater and wash my face.
It's a really wild feeling too, Ilay, because as you take the mask off, you can see how the algae, the seaweed, the whatever it is, has almost a sort of what is the word I'm looking for here? Like attractive property to the water. So as you take the mask off, it sort of the algae itself sort of begins the process of pulling the water from your lungs, and then you help it along. It's not cute, but
this is
it is
similar to a movie where all of humanity are batteries, and that whole not fun times.
I did not even think of it, but you are not at all wrong.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's worse.
It's worse.
Desmond just is Ikemba is just like he tries to he puts his head underwater.
Though if Desmond was here, imagine though.
So Ikemba puts his head underwater after watching Ilay go through that. He just puts his head underwater and just breathes out, or just breathes in, and then puts his head above water and just breathes out as deeply as he can to see if that will help get as much of the water out of his lungs as possible.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it goes. You would know better than I.
I think it's a very sort of neti pot experience for you, Ikemba, which is not super pleasant, but certainly a little better than what poor Ilay just had to deal with.
Yay.
Yeah. And hey, both of you, those sinuses have never been clearer, truly.
True indeed. True indeed.
Invicta, just because the other two air breathers have mentioned it, how does Invicta do with this?
She watches both of them, and she just finds a spot and mimics Damn it.
now we've done it. Now it's over.
And she mimics, oh boy, Ikemba.
Ikemba.
Look, y'all got me messed up.
Is this a crossover episode?
To be fair, my bad. That was all my fault. Sorry, fam.
We got Mileti laughing too. Oh no.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh goodness.
It's okay. I mimic Ikemba.
Yeah, and same sort of thing. Nice clear sinuses. We'll focus on the positive, accentuate the positive. All right, so you all are up here. You are clear. You've cleared your lungs of water. You can have a conversation about whatever you just saw down there.
How would you all like to proceed after you've made such showings of yourselves?
Well, those of us that actually breathe had to get the water out.
Oh, is that so? And so, like, at this moment, Sila, like, she's up, she pushes her hands back over the swim cap, and then her fro just pops out. And she's like, tragic.
That must be nice to easily do that.
I shake my
shrinkage either.
fur off right on Sila.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost just saved your life, probably, and it's how you repay me. It's rich. So how would you like to proceed?
Seems that they've gone in the direction of the Duakma, which is probably a problem. Considering how our last encounter went with them, I don't imagine it being a gentle experience for the Duakma. But also they're massive and could kill us. Just the Duakma alone. So it's a very interesting situation to be in.
I think we should contact Torch. Tell them what we've seen thus far and ask them how they'd like us to proceed. We don't know what we're facing. We don't know if they're Havlots. We don't know if they're Dualots.
Valid points. All.
I like to err on the side of doing the most practical and responsible thing that we can. And I think that that's what we should do.
It would be a way for us to get a better understanding of what Torch would like without endangering ourselves needlessly.
Valid.
Supported.
Sala is going to throw her head back, open her mouth, and you'll hear the... Now
Torch
calling Torch.
Torch headquarters, how may I direct your call?
Yes, this is Admiral Sila 919.
Confirming personal information. My apologies, Admiral. We do not seem to have an Admiral Sila 919 on our rolls.
It's Admiral Sila 919. It's been updated in my personal system. You may have it listed as Captain Sila 919. However, you should update your system.
Oh, interesting. Let me have a little check. And then you hear in the background, you hear a door open and a familiar voice go, "Oh, just pass her to me, please." And you hear a little bit of a whispered conversation. And finally, the voice of Major Rafia comes over the line and says, hello, yes. Sila 919, my apologies for that. We will discuss the problem when you return. Is all okay?
Not at the moment. We have just returned from the dive point, and the signatures that we found are showing Haplock. But we also have sensed another large heat signature, and I'd like to know how you'd like us to proceed. I would like to err on the side of not just going in and setting off a bomb and leaving, because that just doesn't seem very fair. But what would you like us to do?
Well, your timing was very auspicious. I just received word from Bertrand that he is returning with the remains of the original ship, and said that you all have quite the story about some of the things that came forth from it. At this point, my first priority is your safety. With Bertrand arriving soon, hopefully with the remains of the ship, we will be able to begin analysis to see if these crafts are in fact related to the Hapalocks. If you have found evidence of Hapalocks in the area, best to clear out immediately. We still are not exactly sure what their motivations are, nor how to effectively deal with them.
I can assure you that I remember this gel. I remember that feeling. There are Haplocks in the area.
Would it be possible for you to collect as much of this evidence as you are able to? Please do not put yourselves in any undue danger. You are a valuable team to torch, but the more information we are able to have at our disposal, the better equipped we will be once a firm course of action is decided upon.
I have the piece in my hand.
Excellent.
You should always take something from the scene. You never know when evidence comes in handy.
A paraphrasing of the crime scene investigator's handbook that I read, but yes, excellent. Do be sure and bring that back with, one moment, if you would. I'm getting another communique from Bertrand. Would you mind if I put you on hold for a moment?
And she begins playing her hold music as she waits.
Incredible. So it does seem like that conversation was on speakerphone, so the rest of you heard the whole of the exchange. And while you're on hold with Major Rafia, if there's anything you all want to do or discuss, now is the time.
Should that piece just be in her hand? Should we put it in a container of some kind?
Probably a good idea.
Oh, Scylla opens her chest and she pulls out one of the sandwich containers.
Yes.
Would anyone care for a sandwich while I'm in here?
No.
Ilay?
Yes, I would like a sandwich. Swimming's hard work.
It's been underwater.
It's closed.
It is vacuum sealed, excuse me.
I didn't say it was a bad sandwich.
The egg salad has been chilling.
Are we
The
treading
cucumber
water
is
this whole time?
These are the
Yes.
most crisp cucumbers that if I could taste, I would ever have tasted in my life.
All right.
If we were on solid ground, I would have a sandwich. If that sounds nice, but I would prefer not to swim and eat simultaneously.
I've done it a couple of times. It's actually quite nice.
Well, we don't have 45 minutes for you to wait.
My sandwich then, and I'll take the sandwich and start treading water and eating my sandwich.
Scylla's going to put it
Go ahead.
inside the egg salad that she just handed him the container. She's going to place the piece that's covered in the Hapalock gel.
Great. And you can actually, they're maybe roughly sandwich sized actually, but they're much thinner. So if you want to grab Ikemba's piece as well, you can put both of them in that container. That's fine. Great. So Ilay is happily eating an egg salad sandwich in the middle of the ocean. Silent 919 has some Hapalock goo covered pieces of these mysterious machines in a sandwich container. I love it. And eventually, Major Rafia comes back on the line, interrupting the conversation, and says, yes, crew, I have linked in Bertrand to this conversation. Something rather strange is occurring. Hello, everyone. Hi, Ilay and Ikemba and Invicta and Silent 919, Admiral Sila, and you hear Major Rafia Major Rafia is a Mansagene. She does not have to breathe, but she lets out a sigh. Admiral Sila 919 and Koseh. Hello to all of you. The craft or the wreckage that I am transporting is making a rather strange sound.
I'm sorry, what?
I believe I have run some preliminary scans. I believe that something in this wreckage is transmitting somehow to something.
Does it sound like it's counting?
Oh, no, it's more of a light beeping noise. Does that perhaps sound like counting to someone, perhaps to Sila 919? Admiral, Cap, oh.
Is it at an interval?
It's rather rapid, I suppose. It sounds a bit like this. Beep, 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 beep.
Question for you, Bertrand. Has it always been that speed?
Yes, it's quite consistent.
This concerns me.
Oh.
I'm very concerned of what happens if that beep solidifies.
You should learn the ship.
What?
Was that
What
What are you
Ilay?
saying between your
Oh.
sandwich, Ilay?
Sorry. Learn the ship.
A+.
Abandon the ship.
Oh, do we really think that is necessary?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
Bertrand. Immediately.
Oh.
Would you like to try and see if it's not?
I suppose not, but this is the wistful. I can't imagine abandoning
Bertrand,
the yes.
Do you
yes.
want to die?
No, I don't. But I
You
don't
can build
want
another ship.
We can't get another you.
all right. And Major Rafia sort of interrupts this conversation and says, Bertrand, now hold on just a moment, please. Can you examine the wreckage and tell us what you see? Certainly, Major. And you can hear Bertrand sort of walking through the ship, and Major Rafia continues, and she says, now, I understand your concern here, but we are detecting a transmission coming from the wistful wish. I understand your concern that this is a further self-destruct mechanism, but I don't believe you mentioned a communique the last time you experienced this. Is that correct?
Correct. But
We
we
will
were
make
also
Go ahead.
running for our lives.
My guess is that, well, my hope is that we have a bit of time. And Bertrand comes on and says, Major, I'm here with the wreckage. There is a small red light on the largest piece that is flashing in concert with the beeps. That's all that I can see. Should I be looking for anything else?
You should be leaving.
Yes. I don't know who outranks whom anymore.
I am your admiral, so listen to me when I say get off the ship.
Sila 919 is not yet an admiral of Orch,
This is my
am-
crew.
and it is my operation, Sila 919. Don't
I
misunderstand.
don't care. You care about your mission. I need you to care about my people.
There is a silence on the line for a moment, and very brief, but noticeable considering how quick the Major was to reply up to this point. And after just the briefest moment, Major Rafia says, very well, Bertrand. Yes. Please set the autopilot for Torch headquarters. If the wreckage does not in fact explode, we would still like to be able to examine it. But I will concede that the concern is well-founded. Aye. It will take me just a few moments to prepare the autopilot, and then I will abandon the wish. As Bertrand goes to handle the autopilot and everything else, you all begin to notice that the sea where you all are treading has gotten choppier. And there is a groaning, a deep, you can feel it as much as you hear it, a deep sort of groaning sound coming from way deep down and getting closer.
Like a ship?
Maybe? It feels like it's about the right size, but you all are, you didn't see anything, but maybe. But it's coming from ocean floor, it feels like.
We should move, and we should move now.
Yes.
I agree.
And Ikemba just turns and just starts swimming, just out.
We don't need to move to the rolls table, but I would like swim fast dice pools from everyone, please.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Life is logical. Survive.
All right, we will
Now
start
because
with
he
the
knows how to swim.
Kembas. There you go. All right, we're gonna start with the Kemba since you put that together. Your number to beat. Oh, hey, you want to spend a plot point and get rid of that stress? Because I rolled an opportunity.
Yes, please and thank you.
All right, so get rid of your or step down your stress to a D4.
I didn't know I had stress. Ooh, good to know.
You had the 6 from the 6 of exhaustion from
True.
the search. So pop that down, get rid of that, and roll up your pool. All you got to do is beat a 6.
Also, I'm rolling again.
Oh, did you roll?
Yes, it was.
I missed the result. What was the result?
It was an 8.
Oh, great. Hey, that'll do it. That'll do it. So you are swimming very fast. Who's up next?
I rolled. I got a 14. I got 2 7s.
All right.
And my effect die is a D10, but I got a 6.
Great. I need to roll up for you since your stress is slightly different. 14. Oh, yeah. Hey, I rolled 2 opportunities that time. So if you've got the plot points, feel free to buy down any stresses that you might have. And you are swimming very quickly out of the way. Who's next?
Oh, yes. I'm getting rid of that injured and insecure.
I'll go next here, and Lightbringer, focus, and power, because Lightbringer, they're using their physical attributes to swim, focus because we have to get out of here, and power because they're trying to power through this, so I will roll this.
Y'all, I spent all of my dice luck in that combat against the machine because I rolled a 2 and a 1 on my dice.
Don't worry, I'm here.
All right, great. We will trade. Well, we'll just trade our ones. So no stress, no new plot points in either direction. And you got a 6. So Ilay is motoring, which just leaves us with Sila.
All right, so I am going to also use focus and power.
Great.
And then I am going to pop out my braids that work as propellers and have them flick to help me move faster. That is going to be
The suspense. Hey, yes, that is a 10. That'll do it. I am going to buy that stress off of you. Take a plot point, take a D6 of exhausted stress. But you are all fast enough that you swim your hearts and or synthetic hearts out. And at the very last moment, a rather large wave pushes you all along just that extra little bit of distance as something rises out of the water. And at first, you think perhaps Invicta, you have the right of it. You think perhaps this is a Hapalock ship. It looks sort of similar in shape to the ship that you all, once you had, taken care of its cloaking abilities, that you were able to sort of see with the long sort of tentacles in the back. But you realize that it's not, in fact, a ship, and that the tentacles are all attached to something way down at the ocean floor. And the nose of what you thought was a ship begins to, it's sort of sitting on the surface, and the whole thing begins to tilt at an angle so that the nose of this, whatever it is just beginning to point up towards the sky. And as this wave sort of pushes you all the last few feet away from whatever this is, a deafening, almost like a dragon roar mixed with a foghorn mixed with an alarm bell roars out, and an enormous multicolored, it almost looks as if the beam that it comes out of this thing is being split by a prism. A multicolored beam of light fires out of the nose of this thing, whatever it is, and out into the sky. And the last thing that you all hear before another wave overtakes you and pushes you onto the beach by Mandira is Captain Rafia saying, "How strange. We've lost contact with Bertrand." And that's where we're going to leave this season
Wow.
of Into the
How
Motherland.
dare you?
What?
Wow. Okay.
I'm so mad at you right now.
Word?
You can all be mad at me. That's fair. But
Word?
you all know I love the old slap and tickle. So here's the tickle part. After that hell of a slap,
It's a wrap.
you
We're
all
done.
will be
Cool.
able to find out in 4 weeks what may or may not have happened to Bertrand, because Into the Motherlands is coming back for season 3.
Hey.
Oh my God. I figured you'd cliffhanger, but why would you? Jasmine, I need to text Jasmine and tell on you.
Please.
She probably
Actually-
had a say in it.
Telling.
I'm
I imagine if anybody
texting-
had a sprinkle to do with it, I'd have been there.
I'm texting Jasmine. I'm still telling on you.
You give her my number if she has anything to say. Tell her to text me back.
Can you
Yes,
believe what he just did?
it was a hell of an ending, but the good news is on Wednesday, August 4th, we will be back for another 10 episodes, another season of Into the Motherlands. And that is in no small part because of all of you incredible folks who have been so incredibly supportive of us over the last 22 episodes. We will be back. There is more. There is more. There is more. That's all I'm gonna say. There's so many things that I want to say, but I'm not going to, because y'all got to wait till the 4th. Thank you. Thank you. We ended a little bit early so that we could have a little bit of time for a Q&A, but I do want to take a moment before we hop over and have some other folks join us to do our outros, because y'all, if you haven't picked up on it yet, this crew of people is doing big things, and I want you all to know all about what everyone on the crew is up to. So let's go ahead and take a few moments while everyone continues to yell at me in chat, which I will happily take.
So I know you're doing it right.
Let's go on for a moment and have everybody let folks know where they can find you online, what you're up to, as much as you can talk about. I know we got a lot of NDAs swimming around this cast, but let people know where they can keep track of you, at least for the next 4 weeks until they see you again here for season 3 of Into the Motherlands. Let's go, we'll go in, we'll go in the same order we started in. So Michael, you want to start us off?
Yo, what up? Hello, my name is Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere. I'm a professional TTRPG performer, so I am on this show, I believe. There's another show, I don't know if it's been announced. Anyway, there's another show that's going to be continuing soon, which is super amazing. And then I have Fae Forge Academy podcast, which is a podcast of D&D in the Feywilds. And then I have Second Star to the Right, a D&D game that takes place in Neverland. And then I play lots of Magic the Gathering, so you'll see me doing that during my off time, sometimes on my Twitch channel, sometimes on social media. So yeah, and then there are other things coming down the pipeline, but I am so excited. Can't say anything. I'm like, my excitement is clawing its way out of my body. I'm trying to contain it. It's not, I'm not okay, but it'll be okay. Eventually something will be said and I will be okay. But anyway, keep a lookout for that on my Twitter. Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Next up, we have Christina.
Hi, y'all. I am mad at Eugenio.
That's fair.
no,
I will
I'm-
take that.
Oh, I saw you going there, and I was. Anyway, hi. I'm Christina Ariel. You may know me from such things as internet. I am the host of Star Wars: The High Republic show, as you can see from my awesome Jedi shirt that I am wearing for the High Republic that just came out from out of print. So I'm super excited about that. I have a new episode of Star Wars: The High Republic show coming out. We have a bi-monthly release schedule to coincide with the release of the books. So please check that out. The last 3 episodes are up on StarWars.com. You can find that on the front page. And also, I announced yesterday, or Star Wars announced yesterday, I will be hosting a panel for Lucasfilm Publishing at the Comic-Con at Home next month, July 23rd. So please be on the lookout for that. I have other stuff that I am doing that I cannot tell you about. But other than that, please remember that if you want to get caught up on Motherlands and you do not have time to watch YouTube or on Twitch, that you can find us on all of your podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts. You can catch up on all the episodes of season 1 and season 2 of Into the Motherlands before we go into season 3. That's so exciting. It's so cool that we have this. But you can find me online on all the things at Christina Ariel, Krystina Arielle.
That's it. Moving on over to DJ.
Oh, hi, it's me. I'm DJ Knight. I play a lot of video games on the internet. Primarily, I also am in another tabletop role-playing game, which I was priding myself on having gone all this time without mentioning one of the characters in one of the other games. And no, today was the day it ruined it, and then it just the ruination spread. So I'm on the Black Dice Society with our lovely Tanya DePass. I play a lycanthrope. I'll be on there tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm here a lot. I play a lot of Wednesdays and Thursdays are tabletop days because that's where I'm at. So we're gonna have a month of no Wednesday tabletop. It's gonna be weird.
We'll find something to fill the giant motherland shaped hole in
I'm
your heart for a few
sure.
weeks.
Ooh,
I love it. Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
No,
but I just
go.
remembered something.
We got time.
There's a Kickstarter. It is live now. I'm doing a show with Shipwreck Comedy.
Oh yeah.
Called it's the Headless Horseman series. It's gonna be awesome. It's me, it's Matt Mercer, it's Gabe Greenspan, it's so many people from Star Kid and Shipwrecked, and it's really, really cool. So please go and check that out on Shipwreck Comedy's Twitter and support us. We are very close to our Kickstarter goals, and we still have guest stars that have not been announced yet. So help us out with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. All right. And Tanya.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I was trying to do with the tweet that we're getting a 3rd season.
Sorry.
Hi, as DJ said, you can find me tomorrow on Black Dice Society. I play Fen, a Draw Dumpier Blood Hunter. So that's tomorrow. Sunday, I get to hang out with Eugenio again.
No, you don't.
No, that's right. It's a holiday. Dang nabbit. Next Sunday, Rivals comes back. We are on the road to 100 episodes. We are in our 10th season, and I've been there since the beginning. It's been wild. So again, if you like Rivals of Waterdeep, we have put out a call on the Twitters and by email to our friends. Please share your favorite clips. Send us a lovely message by video or something, TikTok, smoke signal, something, and tell us what your favorite memory of 10 seasons of Rivals are. And then again, not this Sunday because we took the holiday off, but right after Rivals, I'll be going into Dungeons and Do-Rags, DM'd by Critical Bard. It's an all-black D&D cast over on the I Need Diverse Games Twitch channel. And this is all Milady Confetti's fault in a very loving way because she had never been in a campaign before. So she's playing a very snobby aristocrat. So let's hope that we don't come to blows in episode 2. And the tweet is out about D3 Cruise. So if you feel comfortable traveling next year, come hang out and I'll be a DM. So there's a lot more that I still can't talk about. Yes,
Always.
DJ.
I just wanted to say, can we get applause in the chat for the name Dungeons and Durags? Because that is
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah,
so good.
amazing. That is
It's
amazing.
so good. Everything
Oh,
about it.
Go
My
for
durag
it.
is literally over here somewhere. Because I got to keep this tied down so it
Mine
doesn't
too.
get stupid.
It's right
overnight.
there to the side, right there.
You know,
So
off screen.
DJ, we got to get you on there though. Like if one of us is out, you got to come and fill in.
I love it. I love it. And I'm Eugenio. I'm DM Jazzy Hands. Be nice to me on Twitter, please. It's a game and a story, and I had to tell it. You can follow me on Twitter at DM Jazzy Hands. I do stream here on Twitch a couple times a week. You can find me at my channel, twitch.tv/DM Jazzy Hands. I think Tanya sort of told you everything I'm up to because I do most of it with her.
Mhm.
You're stuck with me, Eugenio.
I mean, I'm not mad. No rivals this week. We'll be back next Sunday. The 11th for our next episode of Rivals as we march to 100. We did announce on Monday that Courts of the Shadow Fae, which was my D&D game over on the Cobalt Press channel on Monday nights. We have finished up our season, but we are also over there getting another 6-episode season starting probably in August. We met the Shadow Queen and she tasked us with some exciting things. So we get to finish that up starting in August. So keep an eye out for that. And I think
We forgot Eugenio, or we forgot Abria.
Oh, I didn't forget. I was getting to her.
Well,
But you go ahead and do you. No. You do the thing because I don't talk anymore. I talked all day night.
Yes, and I'm gonna have words for you, young man.
That is fair.
Oh,
But since
Somebody
I'm wearing my
trouble.
EXU shirt, I wanted
Yeah.
to look for Abria. Yes, I did go change clothes because it arrived during the first half of the show.
hell yeah.
Yes.
But our lovely Abria hopefully will be able to join us for Q&A. She's been fighting LA traffic this whole time. But you can find Abria as a DM of Exandria Unlimited, a short run over on Critical Role, Thursday nights in their normal time slot. And also, weirdly enough, since we're finishing this season, you can go watch her on Dimension 20, where she is the DM of I know there's Misfits in the title.
Misfits and Magic.
Thank you,
Magic.
Misfits
Yeah.
and Magic. Same time that we're normally on, so you can still get your dose of Abria until we come back in August.
Yeah.
And Abria's on a billboard. I said it earlier, but it's really dope that our friend is on a billboard.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah,
yes,
it is.
go follow Abria everywhere, Quiddy, Quiddi, and hopefully she'll be with us for the Q&A. And we have confirmed there will be a Wild B Dave Walters in the chat.
Hey.
Yeah. Let's see. There was something else that I wanted to mention. We had talked about it earlier. Don't remember what it was. We are going to be transitioning here in just a couple of minutes into a brief little Q&A. So I think the mods have already begun spreading the word, but in case you didn't notice, if you do have questions for us, if you will put your questions in the chat, starting them with an all caps the word question in all caps so that we can the mods can identify them and collect them up for us. I make no promises to answer any spoiler related questions, but we'll do the best we can. And Tanya, are there any sort of topic restrictions we want to put on the questions?
Obviously no spoilers. Be respectful and understand that, if you ask a weird question, if you get weird about the characters or the people that play them, we have the right to not only not answer you, but also kick you out of the chat.
Yeah, and they can be questions for the characters. They can be questions for us as players. They can be questions for any of the NPCs or just for me as storyteller. And we will do our best to sift through those and get you some answers. While we do that, do we know if B Dave is ready? I know we're a little early.
Yes.
We got about 4 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, we just need to switch over to whatever scene we're doing. I turned on the waiting room. So I will hey, we have a Quiddy.
Yay! We have a Quiddy too.
Let's
All right.
go.
So let me just check in with our producer. Are we good to? Oh, look at that. Wait, if I lean this way.
So,
Hey, BB.
Hello.
There we go. If I lean like
hi.
this, are we good to make a move over to the other one?
Hold
Leonie?
on.